Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about baby stuff. If you didn't know, yes, I am pregnant and I am almost at the end of my pregnancy. We are on month 8, or in Japan they like to say like month 9 because there's like 10 months in your pregnancy. I actually fully don't understand it. In the end, we only have about 5 weeks left until this little one pops out. Hopefully the baby comes on time, but they're on their own time schedule. I'm just the oven. So throughout my pregnancy, I've dealt with the normal things that a mother would deal with when she's pregnant, you know, morning sickness, cravings, things like that. But I haven't really been like the crazy lady, you know?
You need to go to the store right now and you need to get me this.
Like the really crazy lady. But there are still things that I do crave and that I have wanted to eat. Tomato-based things have been really, really big. So like pasta sauces. For a while I was craving pizza sauce. Something that I've been craving a lot is this kind of messy thing right here. It's pizza toast. There's also been the sour and sweet things that I've been craving, like lemons. Lemon anything has been something that I've been wanting. We're even thinking of planting a lemon tree and trying to grow it down on our deck to try to get more lemons. Like, that's how much I've been liking lemons, guys. There are some other aches and pains that you do feel throughout the pregnancy. If you've been pregnant, you know. It's currently 1:40 in the morning. I have such bad leg cramps that I'm gonna try to use this, you can't really see it, but it's like Keisuke's body roller. And I'm gonna see if that can help because it just hurts and is too irritating to try to deal with. If you haven't been pregnant, well, maybe one day you'll find out. And if you're a dude, well, you're just never gonna know. And a woman is never gonna be able to explain the things that happen to her body, like to the point where you're gonna actually be like, oh, I see. So it's like when I get kicked in the ball sack. You might try to experience it, you know, like those dudes that try to experience it through like that baby thingy. What is that? The pregnancy brain! Like the birthing simulator where they put those sticky pads on you and it's supposed to represent like the stages of labor. You're still not gonna be shoving anything through a hole, you know, like something this big through a hole that's like meant to be this big. Well, it gets bigger, but that's besides the point. I don't know how some ladies can say that
pregnancy is like the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience. Like,
It sucks.
it's really gross. It's like, I guess it has its moments, you know, like that loving motherly feeling that you have, you know, like when you touch your tummy and you rub it. But like the other aspects are like really, really gross. Like your first trimester, you feel like shit almost the whole time. Like I was constantly feeling nausea, throwing up, like absolutely nothing that I had in my stomach, but I still was throwing up in the morning. And then like you feel like, oh, sluggish and gross all day, and you kind of start to feel better at the end of the night, but then it's time to go to bed because you're exhausted anyway, so you just pass right out. I'm just watching The Little Mermaid and I'm crying. This is ridiculous. Stupid hormones. And then like second trimester, it's like, okay, things are a little more fun. Like I have more energy, everything's a lot more exciting. But I have like this really bad heartburn, and you know, it doesn't just sit here, it like goes all the way up to my throat and makes me feel like I'm gonna like cough and throw up and do all this other stuff because it's so much pain. And Japan doesn't have Tums, so you know, like the Tums that I stole from my dad the last time we went to his house, I literally have one Tum left, and I was saving it for a night that I'm just like,
I can't stand this anymore.
and now we're in the last trimester, on the last stages, and everything's just so uncomfortable. The more we get into summer, I keep feeling more and more like I'm becoming like Rachel from Friends after she's been like overly pregnant and she's like overdue and she's like running around and her tummy's like hanging out. I have a lot of worries about a lot of things. I guess I guess it's because the baby's supposed to be coming soon and all new moms are really anxious towards the end of their pregnancy. But I haven't been too worried about the mom part. I've been more worried about the doctor part and the hospital part and the birthing part, because there's just so much about the Japanese birthing system that I have no idea. If you've read in my blog posts, I have touched upon that a lot more than I'm going to touch upon in this video. I'll link that blog down below. I just don't know the steps that we're going to go through at the hospital. I just know that doctors are really strong and seen as really respectable people here. Not saying that any other country isn't, but here you don't argue with your doctor. Even if you feel like something's still wrong, you don't argue with your doctor. You just take what they say, do what they say, take the medicine that they tell you to take.
Just do it.
So here I'm a little worried if there's something that I feel like my body needs to do, they're not gonna let me do that. So I'm a little nervous. But on our next doctor visit, I promise I will talk to the doctor in more detail about, or even the midwife that's there, about what to expect when it comes to the birth. Because right now I am so freaking clueless about the Japanese birthing system. And we couldn't take pregnancy classes, me and Keisuke, because they've all been canceled because of the coronavirus. So there's nothing. Like, there's no online substitutes. There's no nothing. Like, I bet you there's some like book thingies out there that the hospitals have, or like that you could have possibly gotten, but of course they're all going to be in Japanese, and of course Keisuke is going to be the only one that's going to be able to read them. I'm not going to be able to know what's up. So I've been kind of trying to use YouTube as a learning space. I've been reading books, I've been keeping up on that, but you know, it's been great. Being on the last length of my pregnancy, a lot of my aches and pains are just trying to get to sleep, the anxiety, like I said, and then trying to be comfortable. Like, my tummy is slowly getting bigger and bigger, and now I can really feel the stretch and like the limited space that the baby has in there. The baby's kicking more, the baby's punching more. And when the baby moves, I feel the move. Like, imagine being in like a tight space, and if you do this, yeah, I feel it right away. It's a small, tiny human that's inside there that's doing that, and like, you made that. Creepy, but cool. We've got a whole bunch of stuff prepared for when the baby comes. We've got some clothes now. We've got a baby swing. We've got a ton of diapers. I have like a diaper mountain. I'll try to do a video later on some of the things that I find useful, and also what I'm gonna pack for my hospital bag here in Japan, and what's gonna be provided at my hospital. Hopefully I can get that information out soon, but right now I can't show you a lot of the things that we have for the baby because Keisuke's family still doesn't want to know the gender of our baby. So I've been trying really, really hard not to say what it is, not to say the baby's name, and to keep that as hush-hush as possible. But it's so hard because we've got so much of the stuff around the house now, because I'm trying to get it all set up and ready to go. So I don't have to worry about it leading up to the birth. Like, I can just come home and everything's where I want it to be. Sometimes you guys can find some of the stuff that we got on my social media, like on Facebook and Instagram. And also, I did end up getting to go to H&M at Lalaport, and their selection looks like a clearance rack that has been through a disaster. Like, it's just a small little section, and like the sizes are really weird. They don't have multiple shirts in the size. It looks like it's been picked over, and like there's absolutely nothing left. But I would suggest that you do go, because there are a few pieces that I ended up buying that I wouldn't have thought to buy if I saw them online, because of just the way things were, and you can get a little bit better understanding of what size might actually fit you. They do have a big selection of maternity bras though. Unfortunately, the maternity bra that they had in their largest size didn't fit me properly enough, I feel, so I wasn't able to buy one of those. That's been super hard for me this whole pregnancy, is having clothes, finding clothes. Things just don't fit, or they just don't fit comfortably because it's getting so tight in my tummy, and then like I don't want to wear tight clothes because it's freaking hot. I want to be loose and comfortable, and just Being pregnant and uncomfortable is the worst. I'm not quite sure what people are curious about for questions when it comes to what I've been experiencing with pregnancy here in Japan. I have been doing a lot more work on those experiences on my blog than doing videos about that, but if there are questions and things that you would be interested in seeing, please leave me a comment on this video. You can also comment on my Facebook page. You can also send me a private message. You can send me messages on Instagram. I always try to answer. I'm not always the quickest, but I do try to respond. And, you know, we'll have more videos coming up, maybe a little more baby related. I'm just not quite sure. I'm just not quite sure of anything. My channel is probably going to change a lot after the baby is born. It's going to come more driven to things like that and parenting probably here while I'm in Japan, but you never know. We'll still probably make those funny videos. I've got a lot of ideas coming up here for future videos, and since I am on pre-maternity leave, as I keep calling it, I hope to get a few more things done here when it comes to videos. But don't forget to like and subscribe this video, leave me a comment, question anything you got, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.